Well, there was also big news from Baltimore today after the city announced a proposed settlement of $6.4 million to the Freddie Gray family. Gray, of course, the man who died in police custody near the end of April. The announcement comes just weeks before the criminal trial for the 6 officers charged in his death. And according to the mayor, Stephanie Rawlings Blake, the agreement should, quote, not be interpreted as a judgment on the guilt or innocence of the officers facing trial. And that's not all she said. Mark Eiglarz is with me now. He's a criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor. Arthur Aidala is a New York trial attorney and a Fox News contributor. She went on to say, this avoids costly, protracted litigation that would only make it more difficult for our city to heal. Mark, your thoughts?
Megan, I tried cases for a living. Jurors rarely believe in the presumption of innocence. They think if they're sitting there and they must have done something. This fact that they're going to hear that the city paid out $6.4 million, which, by the way, just to put it in perspective, since 2011, there's been 120 police brutality lawsuits that have been settled. The total amount, if you add all those up, all those settlements, you don't get to $6.4 million.
Wow.
So these jurors heard about this settlement. They're going to believe erroneously that they must have done something wrong. It's going to be a nightmare for jury selection.
This has got to set some sort of a record, Arthur, for settlement of a civil suit in a case like this, well before the criminal trial.
Real quick, there's a couple of facts here. First of all, Megan, no civil case was ever brought. They're settling before a case has even been brought, that's insane, number one. Number two, in that particular state, on these types of cases, there is a cap. It used to be $200,000, it's $400,000. A similar case went to trial. The jury awarded $11 million, and the Court of Appeals, the highest court of Maryland, knocked it down to $400,000. And the last fact I want to point out is this past April, an individual who got shot and killed by the police, his settlement was $175,000. So the message is, if someone in your family gets hurt by the police, start a riot, start chaos, and your whole family will have multiple generational wealth.
Well, that's
it's
the
insane.
irony here, because there is an allegation in the criminal case that you all know we're going to hear more about when that case goes to trial, that Freddie Gray was a person who was trying to injure himself and had done so in the past, allegedly possibly to get a civil settlement against the cops, or there was an allegation that he didn't want to be seen as a snitch, which they said he was, so he tried to act out to sort of show how upset he was that he was being arrested, what have you. But the point is, Mark, the city did have a leg to stand on when it came to its defense.
Well, apparently not. They gave in to this. Again, there's only been 6 settlements over $200,000 since 2011. That's number one. But number two, apparently the message to the jurors is that this wasn't a self-inflicted injury, because why else would they pay?
What about the testimony of Donta Allen, who was in the van with Freddie Gray? Who said it sounded like he was trying to hurt himself? You would think the city would like to save itself millions of dollars and at least argue that case before they paid it out, Arthur.
And, Megan, how about the fact how quickly this took place? You know the civil system. Cases never get settled in 5 months. Not of this magnitude. There's an investigation.
Never.
There's discovery.
Does this get brought into evidence, Arthur, in the criminal case?
No.
Or jurors just know about it through media?
No,
That's it.
The second one. Juries just know about it from media. Megan, what I would like to know is, did the city attorneys sit down with the prosecutors? Did they talk about the evidence? Did they see, is the city really at fault? If I'm a citizen of Baltimore who's a tax-paying citizen, I'm going through the roof. You know how many kids you could feed lunch to with $6.4 million? Fine, maybe it's $1 million case. Maybe it's a $750,000 case. But it's not a $6.4 million case.
Yes, the mayor wants the city to heal. She wants the city to heal.
But Megan, unless there's 6 guilty verdicts, the city is going to burn. That's the problem.
That is the problem.
That's the problem.
Listen,
They're not buying insurance right now.
I want to tell the viewers right now that Mark and Arthur, they'll be back on Thursday night because we expect big news, and we've got that.
Well, now I know what I'm doing Thursday. How about you, Mark?
You're going to be right here, along with our viewers. All right.